Hello and welcome. I am your host of What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Author Karen E. Osborne. I have five novels out. The latest is Justice for Emerson. I am so glad that you're here. This is a space for readers and writers to come together and talk about books. I would like to introduce you to Julie Simmons. Hey, Julie,
Hey,
I'm so glad that you could join us. Julie is joining us from British Columbia in Canada, and we are delighted to have her. She is a contemporary romance author. So we're going to talk about romance, which I love.
awesome.
Yes. So let's start with your writing journey. How did you get started and why romance?
Well, I love the genre. I read the genre, so that was kind of a no-brainer. But my journey is an interesting one in that I wrote my debut novel in 2023 and published it through Amazon KDP. And I was 51 years old, realizing a lifelong dream. I had recently left the workforce and I kind of needed that to happen before I could focus on focus on, I had to get that stress out of my life. And
Hmm.
then I did nothing for a year. I just read books and played games and just existed. And then pretty much a year after I left work, I started the book and I didn't know if it would be anything. I
Hmm.
kind of just started doing it for me. Just and I really thought it was most likely that it was just going to sit on my computer. And then as I started rereading and editing and improving on it, I thought to myself, you know what? This is something I'm proud of, and I think it should be out into the world. So a friend told me about self-publishing because I had no clue you could do that. And and so yeah, I went for it. So that it was December 1st, 2023. I started writing the book January of 2023. And
Wow.
now I've got three novels out.
That you are a fast writer. So how
I
much
kind of
time
am, yeah.
you are?
Yeah.
No, trust me. You are a fast writer. So how long does it take you each book? About how long?
Well, the debut I wrote, my first, when I say wrote it, I mean my first write through when I wrote, the end at the bottom, and then
Yes.
I
Yes.
needed to start going, a month. And the duet that I have out now, the Forever Yours duet, was supposed to be one book. But when I got to 115,000 words and I had still lots to tell, I thought, I'm going to split this. So I actually wrote the two of them together. Then I split it in the only logical place to split it. And I went back to book one and started editing that and left book two alone until I was ready and done with book one. So that whole duet, oh, let me see, I started it late October of 2024, I guess. Yeah. And I finished writing them. I finished the second book at the end of March of
My goodness.
2025. So
That
that
is
was, yeah.
that's fast.
I
That is
plan, I
really
outline,
fast.
I really, really
Mm.
have it solid in my head what I want. And then if I make any changes or anything, I go back to my outline and I make the changes there as I go. So then I'm free of the burden of needing to keep stuff in my head. I just
Mm.
open up my outline, I open up my manuscript, and I use the outline. I go from there, and I'm really directed. I know where I'm going.
Oh.
So I
Well,
guess that makes
you
the
and
process
I are
easier.
the exact opposites because I have no idea where I'm going, no outline. I tell people all the time, my husband said to me, he was reading my last book, Justice for Emerson, which is a murder mystery, dual timeline murder mystery. And
Hmm.
he's reading it. I'm three-quarters of the way writing it, and he's keeping up. And he says, Karen, this is so good. I can't figure out who the murderer is. And I said, I know. They haven't revealed themselves. So you and I are
Yeah.
quite, quite the
Yeah,
opposite.
I mean my outlines are actually like detailed synopsis. Like I spend a few weeks on my outline, and it's usually probably, you know, 17 pages on a Word document, single spaced, and I just outline the hell out of it and synopsis it, and then I start writing the book.
And you write the book, yeah. So let's talk about the duets. That's the one that
Yeah,
we're highlighting today. First of all, show
absolutely.
us these gorgeous covers.
Okay, so this is book one.
It's always been you. Mm,
Yes.
okay.
And so that one was published in October of last year. Then this one, book two,
I've
I've
always
always been
been
yours,
yours.
came out
Mm.
May 1st.
May 1st.
So it's,
Congratulations.
yeah, I mean it's about you can probably tell by the photo, the guys are identical twin brothers.
Yeah, you're blurred. They're blurred, so we
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
see them that time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yes, now we can see it.
there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're identical twin brothers,
Hmm.
Don and Phil Bradshaw. And anybody of a certain age might recognize Don and Phil as the Everly brothers. I did name them after the Everly brothers, and that's what their parents did, was name them after the Everly brothers. So Don and Phil are, so book one, it starts in the present in 2025. The prologue does. And Phil has found something very disturbing, and I don't reveal what that is in the prologue. Then it jumps back to 2008 and
Mm.
takes these people from 2008 to 2017. Then book two starts back in 2025 after Phil has found out this shocking thing. And so basically, book one is taking you up to, by the end of book one, you're going to understand what it is Phil found. But both of the twins are in love with the same woman. So one
Mm.
of them she marries, one of them she's best friends with. And then her best friend Mandy comes into it as well. So hence the four of them are on the cover of book one. Book two, I've jumped 8 years from 2017 back to 2025. Now there's a family. They
I
have
see all the
kids.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah. So the kids exist at the end of book one, but they're little.
Mm.
And so then we jump ahead, and the fallout is happening from what Phil found at the beginning of book one. So basically, you're on a cliffhanger at the prologue of book one. Then at the end of book one, you're still on a cliffhanger. You are wanting that second book to come out to find out, oh my goodness, he found out, and what's the fallout going to be? And the
Yeah.
book two, their kids are also quite involved in the plot lines. So
So tell
yeah.
me what you love about the twins. What do you love about them? Each one of them separately.
Well,
What's
you know what? Yeah, I've always been obsessed with identical twins. And so I made them very different because I know twins do tend to be very different in personality. I think it's their way of making themselves an individual. So
Mhm.
Phil is known for his kindness. He is kind to a fault. He's one of those people who's always doing random acts of kindness. He and that carries through the two books. Don is more quiet than Phil. Phil tends to be a bit of a ladies' man at the beginning of book one. He grows up a lot,
Mhm.
and Don suffers from social anxiety. So I really admire Don for how he has dealt with it. And we see that progression in book one, where he knows he needs to get a hold of this problem. And
Mm.
of course, Phil and Don being so close, Phil is very involved in that process as well. So I
Yeah.
just I love these two. I really do. And as far as the women, Andrea and Mandy, my books always have one thing that goes through all of my books is there's always a musician, as one or more musicians as main characters. My debut novel, he's an orchestra conductor, she's a musical theater performer. In the duet, Andrea is a cellist. And so
Mm.
there's always a musician, so there's always exploring that musician's aspect, which really is a big part of book two of this duet with Andrea.
And it's a
And
really big part of your life,
it
right?
is, yes, it
Yes,
is.
you're very into musical theater. You have a radio show. Tell our audience about that.
My radio show is called On the Marquee. I started it in 2017, and that was just local here on the local campus and community radio station, CFBX. Then after the pandemic, I was very interested in syndicating the show. So I did that, and I've been picked up by a couple of other stations now in Canada. So it's called On the Marquee, and it is all about anything Broadway, London's West End, Hollywood movie musicals, musical television shows, anything that falls under musical theater. I do it, and I always plan my stuff way in advance. I guess I take my planning into other parts of my life too, and not just my
Yes.
writing. Uh,
Yes.
but but my program is always thematic. So, I just recorded a show where all the songs are questions.
Hmm.
And another one I just did
Okay,
was,
wait. Give me an example of
yeah,
that.
like What Would You Do from Cabaret? Who Am I from Les Miserables?
Mm.
Though every song has a question as its title.
Yes, yes.
And I just did
Nice.
another one where all the songs are days of the week. And I've done everything. I mean, since 2017, I've done every kind of theme I can think of, and some are recurring, some are one-offs. I'll do a lot of artist features and composer features, usually around their birth dates, or if they've passed, I'll do maybe around the date of their passing. And I'll do
Yeah,
a full
nice.
show
Very
on
nice.
Elaine Page or Leah Salonga or Stephen Sondheim or Andrew Lloyd Webber or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're two parts.
that sounds so
Yeah,
fun.
I
And
love it.
so here you have your musical theater passion, and over here
Yep.
you have your romance writing passion. What
Yep.
are you writing now? What's coming out next?
You know what? I haven't started it, but my next project is going to veer very different from the romance. I'm going to write my memoir. I've been legally blind since I was born. And so there's a story there. There's a lot to tell about growing up with a disability in a very small community without a whole lot of resources,
Mm,
talking the 70s and 80s, before social media, before you could just reach out and find people. So there's a story to tell there, my university years and the whole, living with a disability in the workplace, all of that. I think it could be a real help to not just people who are blind or visually impaired, but parents of blind and visually impaired children or disabled children in general.
mhm,
So I'm going to start it. I want to do this while I still have my parents to make
mm,
contributions, and I kind of want to
mm.
get material from their point of view. And so I've been writing essays and stuff for years. I mean, all my life about aspects of my story. So I think it's kind of time, I think, to put it all together, and it will definitely appeal to a different audience from the romance novels, which is a good thing because,
Yes,
it
and you
brings
know
other
what?
people. Yeah.
Readers can be very loyal.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm somebody who changes genres. I switch
Yeah.
up. And but my readers are loyal. It's not
Right.
just that, oh, well, you didn't write a historical fiction book this time, so I'm not gonna read it.
Right.
They read it because that they go with me. And lots of readers like
Well,
different
yeah.
kinds of books. I love romance suspense books, but I also like thrillers and I also, right? So I think your
Right.
memoir readers a lot of them will come from your loyal readers of your romance. They'll stick with you. Readers
Exactly.
are We love you guys. Readers are wonderful
And
people and we love you.
yeah, and also I think then people who find me through the memoir and then look me up and find out, oh, she's written 3 romance novels already. Let's check those out.
Let's
So I think
check
it
those
kind of
out.
goes both ways.
It does. It does. So, this is what are you reading? What are you writing? So, do you have any
Uh-huh.
books that you can recommend to our audience?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me talk about this book because I can never stop talking about this book.
Okay.
My favorite book of all time, I read a little over a year ago, and it totally just it's everything. It's called Maestro by Auden Dar, and she's independently published, like myself. And I was drawn to it for several reasons. One, I saw it recommended in a group, a Facebook group, and it's about musicians. He's a conductor and she's a cellist. And I'm like, okay, this is so me. And it takes place in New York, which I tend to gravitate toward in my books. And so I just really thought, I got to read this for my own interest. And oh my God, when I was reading it, I I never cried so much before reading a book. And
Mm.
when I wasn't reading it, I was obsessing. I was thinking about the characters all the time. So the final third of the book, like the last couple hundred pages, I read in one day because I just couldn't take it anymore.
Well, that's
So
a wonderful recommendation. Oh my goodness.
it really is. And Auden
That
and
sounds
I have
great.
become friends. We've become friends on Instagram and on Facebook. And I actually won. She had a giveaway a while ago with these special issues of Maestro and a bunch of different swag. And I won it. I was over the moon. So I got my stuff, and I have these 2 absolutely gorgeous collector's editions of Maestro. So now the one that I've read is great. I can use that as my reading copy, and I have these other 2 that I will just admire
Cherish.
and
Just cherish.
cherish.
Well,
So
this has
and
been
she's just
so,
wonderful.
yes,
Yeah.
she sounds like it. Oh my goodness. So this has been such a fun conversation, Julie. I know
Yeah,
everybody wants to find out how they can be in touch with you. You have a new website, right? Tell us
I
what your website,
do.
tell us how they can find it.
JulieSimmonsAuthor.com.
There you go,
And you don't
juliesimmonsauthor.com.
need the www on it, just JulieSimmonsAuthor.com. I do have a link tree also under Julie Simmons Author, and that will give you all of my links, my website, my Instagram, my Facebook. I'm on all kinds of different social media. I tend to concentrate more on Instagram and Facebook, but I do have profiles on like Pinterest and TikTok and Substack and
Excellent,
Goodreads and
excellent.
all
And
that.
you
So
guys,
my link tree will give you all that.
and get you to all those places. And you guys all know that you could find her books everywhere. You can find them on Amazon, and you could find them in your local independent store, your library. If you don't see it, just ask for it, and they
Yeah,
will get
ask
it.
for it. I mean,
Just
for sure,
yeah,
Amazon is where I'm concentrated on, but I also have the ability on my website. You can order my books. It'll just open up an email, and you can email me and say, I would like to buy your books directly from you, and I'll find out the shipping and we'll work it out. But yeah, you can get the
excellent.
books right from me. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure, Julie. You all
Thank
know,
you. Thanks so
please,
much for
once you,
having me.
oh, it's my pleasure. And you guys know that once you get a copy of the book and you read it, write a review.
A
We
review.
thank you in
Oh my gosh, it's
advance.
like
We
pulling
thank you in
teeth.
advance. Yes,
It's like pulling teeth trying to get
but
them. And
it is.
we
So
cherish every
do
one of
write
them.
one.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And please, when you're in touch with Julie, remind her that you met her on What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Until next week, everybody. Bye bye.